Today's video was requested by Daniel Spinoza. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comment section below. The raccoon is a medium-sized mammal and the largest member of the procyonidae family, with 22 known subspecies. Its most distinguishable feature is the black mask of fur around its eye area. Many folktales from the mythology of the indigenous peoples in the Americas surround the raccoon. Men and women from the Sioux tribal communities believed that during rituals, painting their faces to resemble its mask would help them connect to spiritual beings. A number of tales depicted the raccoon as a trickster that would constantly outsmart other animals. These myths are somewhat rooted in truth, as the raccoon is considered to be an intelligent and cunning animal, capable of learning and memorizing solutions for tasks for up to 3 years. Often referred to as sly coons or nature's little bandits, these creatures have a density of neurons in their cerebral cortex comparable to that of primates. With a very well-developed sense of touch and their highly dexterous front paws, have 5 toes on them and act much like human hands. Even inexperienced raccoons can easily open jars, uncork bottles, or open door latches. As adaptable animals, they're known to inhabit urban areas, where they're often regarded as pests. Even though they might look like harmless animals that you can interact with, it's worth remembering that there are a number of ways in which raccoons can threaten human health. According to the majority of experts, keeping a raccoon as a pet isn't a good idea, since it's not a domesticated species. Number 4. Michaela Lee. While 28-year-old Michaela Lee was walking her dog in Fort Steilacoon Park in Lakewood, Washington, she was attacked by a group of raccoons. The attack happened after MADISON, her 6-year-old American dingo, got loose and chased one of the raccoons up a tree. She went to grab the animal's leash, and that's when the vicious critters began scratching her legs. Lee tried to run, but the raccoons chased her, got between her legs, and knocked her down. They began biting and scratching her arms and legs as the woman struggled to keep them from reaching her face. MADISON's barking and snarling eventually drove them off. Lee's neighbors heard her screams and called 911. She was treated for numerous scratches, as well as 16 puncture wounds, and required staples in her arms and leg, and a round of rabies treatment, using injections in each of the gashes on her body. Even though they're native to North America, raccoons can also be found in Central America, Japan, and Europe. Although previously believed to be solitary creatures, recent evidence suggests that they engage in gender-specific social behavior. Related females are known to share a common area, while unrelated males will live in groups of up to 4 animals to maintain their position against invaders and other males when mating season comes. Since they're so adaptable, raccoons can make their home in a wide variety of habitats and climates. These homes are called dens, and their location ranges from caves and tree hollows to abandoned vehicles, barns, attics, and other man-made structures. Raccoons are nocturnal and omnivorous creatures, meaning that they are most active at night and that they eat both meat and vegetation. Some of their favorite animal treats include rodents, insects, bird eggs, frogs, or crayfish. If food sources are scarce, raccoons are known to eat roadkill or scavenge human trash. Number 3. Jorini. In December 2017, a 4-month-old girl named Jorini was the victim of a horrific raccoon attack. When Ashley Rogers, Jorini's mother, took her 6-year-old son to the bathroom, Jorini was asleep on a bed in their Philadelphia home. When the Rogers returned, she was shocked to find her daughter dragged across the room with blood all over her face and pajamas. Jerini was taken to the hospital, receiving no less than 65 stitches, but was expected to recover. An officer from the Animal Care and Control Team of Philadelphia attended the home, but didn't manage to find the raccoon. Traps were set in the building that many other residents complained was the site of a raccoon infestation. In several instances, raccoons were cited as being the primary rabies carrier in the US. The disease is caused by the neurotropic rabies virus, carried in the saliva and can be transmitted through bites. The post-exposure treatment is both costly and painful. The behavior of rabid raccoons is unpredictable, and they can become aggressive and attack you. Despite the dangers, only one human death has been linked directly to the virus commonly known as raccoon rabies. There have been cases, however, where raccoons have killed pets and even mauled children. Raccoon feces and urine are the most dangerous aspect regarding the animal, as they may contain bacteria or parasites which can affect pets and humans. Leptospirosis, a bacteria found in raccoon urine, is very dangerous if it's ingested or if it touches an open wound. Unless it's treated promptly, leptospirosis can lead to potentially fatal consequences, such as meningitis or kidney failure. The raccoon roundworm, a parasite found in raccoon feces, poses an invisible danger, as it's enough to inhale its airborne eggs to become infected. Even though infection cases are rare, it is extremely dangerous, as the parasite's larvae can migrate into brain tissue. If you're wondering how dangerous the raccoon roundworm actually is, you should know that it's a possible bioterrorism concern. The parasite's eggs are easy to acquire. They're extremely resistant to heat and disinfectants. They're able to live for years and can cause deadly human infections with poor treatment options. All these features shape a potential use as a biological weapon. Number 2. Charlotte Ponce. When Charlotte Ponce was only 3 months old in 2003, she suffered a vicious raccoon attack that would forever change her life. The family's pet raccoon somehow escaped from its cage and completely tore off Charlotte's nose and her left ear. It's believed that the animal was attracted to the milk that had spilled onto the girl's face from the bottle left in her cot. After the attack, her father strangled the raccoon to death. When she arrived at the hospital, one of the nurses reportedly claimed that you could see right through her gums. Doctors battled to save what was left of her face, but the damage was too extensive. Soon after, Charlotte's biological parents lost custody over their children. Charlotte and her brother were adopted by their great aunt and uncle, Sharon and Tim Ponce. Over the years since the attack, Charlotte's undergone more than a dozen reconstructive surgeries. Cartilage was taken from her rib and grown in her arm. Afterwards, it was carved into the shape of an ear using computer technology. Charlotte would eventually enter her teen years with a new nose and a new ear. Precautionary measures are always the best option towards avoiding any negative consequences of raccoon interaction. This means making your home uninviting to the raccoon by not leaving food lying around and securing trash cans, fish ponds, swimming pools, or bird feeders. Experts advise against feeding raccoons, as it can result in potential bites. When considering the fact that raccoon saliva may carry the rabies virus, you should treat any raccoon bite as a medical emergency. A rabid raccoon will show certain symptoms such as impaired or unnatural movement and elevated aggression levels. If raccoons make their den inside or near your home, it's worth remembering that in many areas killing them or relocating them without a permit is forbidden, as they're protected by animal welfare laws. Loud noises, unpleasant odors, and flashing lights may provide a temporary solution, But the best thing to do is to contact a specialist. You should also be aware of the dangers raccoons pose to pets and children. They can easily kill a small dog or cat and severely injure even larger pets. Children can also be gravely wounded, and since they frequently play outside, they're also more likely to be exposed to raccoon drop-ins, which can carry parasites and bacteria. When disposing of raccoon drop-ins, always make sure to wear the proper protective equipment. Number 1. San Francisco. Back in 2015, residents from the Richmond district in San Francisco endured a spate of raccoon attacks. In August, a couple was sent to the hospital and had to undergo precautionary rabies treatments after they were attacked by raccoons. 2 months later, another couple visiting from Ireland was out for a walk with their daughter's dogs as Brendan O'Sullivan and his wife were returning home. About a dozen raccoons attacked them and their dogs. They told a news outlet that out of the group, 4 big raccoons did most of the fighting. As a result, Brendan O'Sullivan was severely shaken up by the incident, and his wife had to undergo painful rabies treatment, and one of the dogs had difficulty walking after the attack. Even as O'Sullivan was showing a news crew where the attack had taken place, 2 of the vicious creatures emerged from the darkness, but were scared by the camera lights. Leopons are unlikely to occur in the wild, and the only documented specimens have been bred in captivity. The appearance of these hybrids has been described as a combination of features from both lions and leopards. According to a 1912 description of a leopon from a zoo in Kolhapur, India, his body was spotted like a leopard's, while his head had many of the lion's features.